Welcome to Fava Conversation. Join the conversation.
I think so, right? It's our last Sunday in the month of October, and we are doing it and doing it well. And I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday afternoon, and I hope you're enjoying your family, and I hope you're enjoying all the blessings of God and enjoying your Fava living, your empowered value, bringing value to people everywhere you go. What a wonderful day it is! What a wonderful time it is! And can you believe you're almost in the month? We're almost in the month of November. Thanksgiving, then Christmas. If you can even believe how fast this year has gone, woo, my God. But I'm enjoying it because this is like my season right here. So I'm getting ready to enjoy all of it and luxuriate and start the decoration and everything. And I hope you're doing so too. Oh my God. Okay. Before we start, don't forget FF25 collection in our Shopify store, the resort jacket right here. Scan the QR code, go to the QR code to get this jacket, or you can look at our other items on there as well, because all the proceeds go towards our human trafficking victims. So don't forget, tell your friends, tell everyone out there to join us as we fight against human trafficking. And it's all over the place, everywhere. Again, you can go right here, QR code right here to Fava Reach, the QR code to Fava Reach, and donate. If you don't want to buy anything, you just want to donate, you can donate at Fava Reach and go to our page, and any amount you want. It could be recurring, it could be one time. Any amount is accepted because we'll use it all to do exactly what God has called us to do. So don't forget to do that and tell your friends. Our YouTubers out there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It helps us do what we do. There's an algorithm situation, and we want to promote this to people so we could help empower them. Whatever they're going through, this could be the blessing that they need. So don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. Facebook, I think it's just a like. I think it's a like and a share on Facebook. No subscribe. And then, of course, on Instagram as well. Like, I think it's just a like. I don't think you subscribe on Instagram. I'm not sure what happens there. Follow on Instagram. There you go. Okay. So don't forget to do that and help TikTok. We're on there. We may put some excerpts on there. We're having a difficult situation with our lives on TikTok. So we just send our little promos and stuff on TikTok, but hopefully we tried doing it once or twice and it didn't quite work. And then I realized people were talking about them having issues with it. So I said, well, probably it's just an issue. But right now, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and we need to we're on X as well, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to do that. Okay. Anyway, we are here today, and our topic for today is wow moments. I hope you checked out our blog every Friday. We were on time this week, guys. Okay, we made it 8 a.m. on Fridays, and look for our blog. It comes on our website. Also, we share it on our Facebook page, so it comes on there as well. And I think something with the email. I'm not sure about that, but you can check for it there, and you can just go back to the website and look at all of them, because we still keep them on after they go on, so you can go back and go through all of them. But this week was wow moments, and that's our topic for today. Wow moments, the things that make you go wow. I think Oprah had something on one of her shows back in the day, said aha moments. Well, we're wow moments. What makes you go wow? And a lot of times, a lot of people. Oh, okay, I was hearing something. I have to figure it out. Okay, sorry. A lot of times what we see people going viral, and we see people doing great in business and everything, and it's always because of the wow moments. Something made people go wow, and they had to keep going and coming back and again. And that's one thing they tell you in business. Always strive for the wow moments. Strive to do things in such a way that you grab the attention of your customers, and they keep coming back and keep coming back, because you produce something that's of excellence, of quality, and was a solution to their need. And that's one of the things we have to do. But now when we see a wow moment, you're like, well, what are the wow moments? And sometimes we think about wowing our audience, think about wowing our customers, but do we ever think about wowing God? And that's the thing that a lot of people miss. And when you miss that, you miss a lot. Because wowing God, the Bible says he'll give you favor with God and man. Jesus waxed great in wisdom and stature and favor with God and man. God will give you favor with men that you may not have favor with on your own. And so that's why it's always important for us to look for the favor that comes with God. And what do our actions make God go, oh my God, they just made me proud? Wow, they did amazingly. God wows us, but it's an amazing thing to wow God, and He can be wowed. If you look in Job 1:8, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect man and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, turns away from evil. Does you when and we mentioned that in the blog, when you wow God so much that he can brag to Satan about you, let me tell you something, you've wowed God, because God's not easy to impress. Remember, he created us. He knows what's in us, good, bad, and the ugly. And he knows that's why he had to send Jesus to save us, because when Adam and Eve sinned, they messed up a whole bunch of stuff. So that's why the Bible said man is but a few days and full of trouble. That's what God said. So he knows man. So when we can please him to a point where he can actually brag to Satan about, have you considered my servant Job? There's none like him in the earth, Satan. He's perfect. Leave him alone. Now, I just heard a pastor talk today about God. I mean, I want to impress God, but please, when I impress you, God, do not go bragging to the devil about me. Don't let me impress you that much that you go bragging to the devil about me and have me going through what Job had to go through, because I don't necessarily want to go through that. But God was so proud of Job, and he was so sure and confident in the fact that Job had a pure heart, that he allowed the devil to tempt and touch the body of Job and his family. He said, touch him, but don't kill him. I give you permission to do such and so more. This amount, but no more. And you leave his life alone. I don't care what you do, but you can do this. So I can prove to you the kind of man he is. And I'm like, no, I want to prove, I want God to be wild by me, but please, God, do not put me through that test, because what Job went through was miserable. He lost his entire family, his children, everything he had, his money, his stocks. Then he got boils on his body, and he had to be out in the street and put in hot, sand and stuff on it to relieve the pain. And it was a painful situation. But in the end, God doubled whatever he had. God gave him double for his trouble. He doubled the children, doubled the money, doubled everything, properties, everything he had, because Job proved to be a faithful servant to God. And he even wowed God even more. And then he even wowed the devil, because the devil thought if he did that to him, he would turn away from God. But God said, I don't think so. This one is made of good stock. He's going to pass the test. And he did. Do you wow God like that? Another man that wowed God, and we talked about in the blog, was Enoch. Enoch wowed God so much that God said, you know what? You're not going to die. I'm going to take you up with me. Come up with me. I'm not going to let you die. I just want you to be in my presence for the rest of your life, because I am so in awe of your presence. You make me proud. Do we make God proud like that? Do we wow God to the point where he will just bless us in spite of? Abraham was another man that wowed God. And I always talk about how the children of Israel are blessed because of the covenant God had with Abraham. Why? Because Abraham proved to be a good friend to God. And God said, I can trust you. Because you've proven that you can be trusted. And when we do things to God and we trust him, even our family, our generations will be blessed because of our covenant with God, because we wowed God. And that to me is the biggest testament to living a good life, to having good success, to doing the right things. Because when God is wild with you, that's what wowing really is. If anybody's going to be wild with you, it's going to be God. Man looks on the outside, God looks on the heart. And when he says, you have done good, my servant, I am so proud of you, that means you're doing something good. We have to live for those wild moments, live to please God, live to bless people, live to lift up the name of Jesus. So when people look at us, they can say, God, you did something good with this one. This one represents you well. This one brings glory to the kingdom of God. This one can be trusted because they know God and they love God. Live for those wild moments in your business, in your family, in your relationships, in your community, wherever you go. Live to have those wild moments and work to have those wild moments. Don't be lazy and walking around the place and all that. Live to have those wild moments. And God will show you so many things that you would not even understand, because now you have proven that you can be trusted. You have proven that you want to please God. And it's not about what he gives you. It's about you just loving God and wanting to bring glory to him. And that's all God wants, a heart that's genuinely going after God for who he is, who's seeking the face of God and not just seeking the hand of God, who says, God, even if you never give me another blessing, another thing, I will serve you, because you have proven to be good to me and you've done great things, and we love you because you first loved us. Live to make God proud. Oh my God. Whoo, Jesus. Okay, wild moments. Have wild moments that leaves financial impact. Have those wild moments that wait, hold on now. That leaves. That just working. Okay, that establishes that results. Let's just go with the results. Some reason that's not sounding grammatically correct, but anyway, those wild moments that result in great financial impact. Do in your business, be in your even in your personal life, the things you do in your business that you can have financial impact, good financial impact, not just for you, but for your family, for your family's family, your children's children, for people around you. Because as you're blessed, you can bless others. You can bless the church. You can bless people in need. You can lift up people. So when you're working, when you're in your business, and even just your personal, your family finances, or whatever you're doing, do things so you can bring increase and have that impact that will be wow. They did well with that. Look at how much of a blessing they can be because of that. Look at how many of their children's children will be blessed because of that. Will be able to go to school because of that. Will be able to own their own businesses because of that. That's how, when we do things, we should live for those wow moments. We should have in our mind, I want to create a wow moment using whatever, a wow impact, a moment using whatever God has given me. And that's why we go through all this financial stuff and the financial education and all that kind of stuff, and the investing and all that, because we want to live wow moments to our children, our children's children, and to people around us who get blessed because of us. Next, have the wow moments that leave spiritual impact, great spiritual impact. Great spiritual impact. You don't want to just leave a legacy of just, oh, I provided all these things, but nobody loved God. Nobody followed after God. Nobody knew about the things God has done for this family. So generations grow up not knowing that God has done great things for your family, that God has been a blessing, that is because of God that we are where we are. And Jesus, there's a part in the Old Testament where God was telling the Israelites to make sure when I bless you, that you train your children and you tell them of the things I've done for you, so they will know the God that you serve, and they will continue to serve me with excellence, knowing what I've done for them, and that is because of me that they are where they are today. Serve God and tell your children's children of the great things God has done. So to this day, for the Passover, they always tell the children, and they have a big celebration of how God brought them out of Egypt, and how they walked over the Red Sea. That's what the Passover is about, and how the blood was put on the mantelpost that protected them from the angel of death, so they didn't die. And the Egyptians died, and God took them out of Egypt. They celebrate that to this day every year. That's what they call their Passover. And they have other different feasts that they do as well. But they leave that as a legacy to their children, to make sure they know the things that happened, even with the Holocaust and the things that happened to them and how God delivered them. They go through that every year to make sure that their children know of what happened back then, and how they were delivered, and how they escaped and went to all these different countries, and what God did for them. They create feasts that commemorate the things that God did for them, the great things that were done for them. And that's how we have to live our lives. Spiritual moments. Take your children, get them in a room, teach them to pray every morning, every night, even during the day. Give them, even when you're praying and fasting, don't leave them out. If they may not be able to go as long as you do, but give them an hour or something and teach them to pray and read the Bible, and get some insight from the word, so they have a habit of praying, of fasting, of getting to know God for themselves, so that if you're not there, they're not falling down like dominoes all over the place because they don't know the God that you serve. Create commemorations and memorials before your children of the God they serve, of what God has done for them, of why they are where they are because of what God has done. So then they always live their lives in a state of thankfulness and gratitude to God, and wanting to serve God because they understand the God of their parents, and the God of their parents became their God. And they're serving him not because their mother and their father did, but because they now understand and have a relationship with God. It's not about religion. It's not about facade. It's not about doing this and doing that. It's about knowing God and having an intimate relationship with him, so that now you're serving him because you love him and you know who he is. And you know what he can do and what he will always do. So people don't come all over the place fooling you with a whole bunch of mess, because there's every kind of religion all over the place. But there's only one true living God. Everybody else is dead and they can't do a thing for you. But the living God is alive and well. And when you know him, anybody can shake your belief because you know him, you've experienced it. You've seen the things he's done for you. He's talked to you, you've talked to him. And that gives you that personal relationship that no religion can overcome, because Christianity is not about having a religion. It's about having a relationship with God, with Jesus, and him being your Lord and Savior, and him directing you and instructing you into good living. And when you understand that and you love God, oh my God, unshakable in the earth. Next, have wow moments that result in physical impact, where you're doing things that could, because the Bible said your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost. So now you're carrying yourself, understanding that your body, you don't put any trash into your body. You don't do drugs. You don't do eat bad foods. You don't practice unhealthy practices and all that kind of stuff, because you realize your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost. And to do what you got to do for God, you got to maintain this body, because you're a spirit, but you live in the body. So you're going to maintain this body well and have good habits and good eating habits and good exercise habits, and things that you do and places that you go and places that you don't go, so that when you live your life, you can you can know that I am carrying my body well. I am carrying myself well. I'm carrying my home well. I'm doing things. And so that allows you to have an impact where people can get to know the God you serve because of the things you do, and seeing the way you live for God and how you please him and how you take time out to do what he says to do. Have those wow moments in your physical, in your body, in your physical body, in the physical things that you do. And finally, have wow moments that build relational impact, good relational impact. I need to add the word good here, probably than great. Hold on one second. Let me do this in my notes. Great relational impact. A lot of people are out there in these streets and they don't have good relationships. They have the wrong relationships. They don't deal well with people. They're not representing well. So people are not talking to God well. They don't look at God well because the public relations people that God have are not doing a good job. We have to represent God. The Bible said they will know us by our love. So every relationship, your marriage should be great. Your friendships, your colleagues, the people you work with. When you go to the grocery store, the people that you interact with at the cash register and all these different things. Relationships. Have those wow moments in your relations where you're having, even during the holidays, people do the pay it forward, and you go and you give something to someone for free. You see somebody homeless, you give them something. Somebody helpless or hungry, you give them something to eat. And you do it not to be seen of men, but just to be a blessing. Even in business, and you get to do things to people. And I find there's a lot of shade, because I've been hearing all kinds of stuff in the news. And I mean, we know about the shady. I mean, everybody knows about the shady. But sometimes we have to find a way to do the things for people and don't be shady about it. So when people see you acting different, they're like, well, who? And you can say, well, how come you're such a nice person? I say, because of the God I serve. He has blessed me so much. I have to bless you and I have to do right by you because he's done right by me, and I have to please him even in this. These are the ways we represent God. See how Daniel went? He was a slave. The children of Israel, they messed up. They got captured by Babylon. He was a slave in Babylon, but that man reigned in Babylon because why? He had an excellent spirit. The king was able to change, make a declaration in the land that every man will worship God. Why? Because of Daniel. They tried to, hold on, yo. I got here doing stuff. Okay. They tried to throw him in the lions. They threw him in the lions dead because they tried to trick him and get him in trouble for praying to God. But he said, for God I live, for God I die. I'm going to pray to God because he's the one got me here and he's going to keep me here. They threw him in the lions dead and God showed up. The lions were quiet, didn't eat him. And then after, when he left, the king threw the men that tried to trap him in there, and the lions had a good little feast. They were so hungry, they couldn't eat Daniel because God said, oh, no, you don't. But when the other men came, they ate him. That's how God will protect his people. But because he stood up for God, the king made a declaration in the land that now, Babylon, you will worship the one and only true living God because of the lifestyle of Daniel. Because he built a good relationship with the king, because he did not compromise his beliefs in God for not even the king, even to the point of death. He said, okay, I'm going to stand by my principles. I was just talking about that with myself this week, about living a principled life. It's not about who sees you and who don't see you. When you live by the principles of God, you do them with or without people, no matter what happens. And that's what differentiates you. That's what makes them say, well, this person is for real. They're not shady. They're not doing this and doing that. They're living by the principles of the word of God in spite of what happens. And we have to live principled lives, good principles, godly principles, so people can see the God and we can have the impact. So then when they deal with you, they're like, well, I know for sure if I deal with this person, they're going to do well by me. So I'm going to put my business there. I'm going to network there. I'm going to send people to them and all that kind of stuff. It's because we build good relationships. We have wow moments in our relationships. So we have the good impact that we need and God is glorified. Never ever compromise what the values and principles for mere things or mere recognition or things that don't even matter. Stand up for godly principles because God will bless you and he will take you places you've never been before because you simply trust him and you allow him to do great things in your life. Never ever back down from the principles of God because they're yea and amen. And when you do that, oh my God, the bless, and it gives you a peace as well. It's not just, oh, this somebody did this. No, it gives you a peace in your heart to know that God has done this through me, to know that God has preserved me, to know that God is doing a great work through me, and he's blessing others through me, and he's glorified, and he's pleased. Oh my God. When you know God is pleased, that thing will bless your spirit. You're like, oh my God, if God is pleased, I'm at peace because I know I'm in favor with God and man, and he'll take care of me. And that's something we have to always keep in mind. God wants to be glorified by our lives. Oh my God. So I hope you're having the wow moments. And I hope that you got something from these few words. Serve the Lord for those wow moments. So look out in your life, in your business, in your relationships, in your spiritual talk with God, your walk with God. Excuse me. Look out for those wow moments because they will change your life. They will bless the lives of others. They will bless the heart of God. And he will reward you openly for them. Look out for them. Work hard for them. And don't compromise or shortchange anything. Do what God says and watch him do great things in your life. Oh my goodness. That blessed me. I hope it blessed you too. Okay, on to our stewarded. Wow moments in our stewarding. I hope you're stewarding your investments. I hope you're looking. This time right now is a lot going on, but there are opportunities, people. There are definitely opportunities. And I hope you're looking out for them. We gave you there's right now with I think the main one, right? I know Nvidia just went up this weekend. Let's go to Webull. Let me share Webull. And like I said, even with whenever you see a little downturn, don't let that dissuade you. And sometimes I get the same way. These are the moments you look for the opportunity to get something on sale and see it go up. Like Nvidia had a back and forth for a minute. Now they're up there in the 186, I think, and change or whatever. So 186.26. So don't look for those moments. And another thing that came to me, because everything going on, and I've been mentioning here and there, but with this whole thing going on with the government shutdowns and all the different things going on, we need to maintain a space, whether you have a job or not. I just think it just has hit me that we need to maintain the space of investing and not being afraid to invest, whether it's in the stock market, whether it be in real estate, whether it be whatever. We need to find a space to invest because too many people, I'm hearing on the internet, and it's all kind of crazy things I'm hearing on the internet, are in a space where they're so dependent on a job or even on the EBTs and stuff like that. They're not thinking of investing and they're missing out on the great wealth that's in that investment space. And I think it's people don't do it because they think, well, I don't have enough to do whatever. And I'm like, that's why we keep telling you every week, $5 is all it takes. There's some places you can put $1 and get in. They don't even worry about it. And you can open up an account with Fidelity, with Schwab. I'm not sure if JP Morgan, I think, should have one with all these, and they have the Robinhoods and all that. But and even Webull, you could do it through Webull. I mean, we use Webull. I don't go through them. I just use them for like my research and my practice, my paper trades and all that kind of stuff. But I stay because I've been with Fidelity for so long. I'm accustomed to them. So I'm staying there. But you could go into Webull and do it through them. But find a space. Because there's no reason, I'm on the internet hearing people say, if I don't get this, then I'm going to go steal. I'm like, no. See, that's what I'm talking about. And I said, we have to look for wow moments and we have to carry ourselves with excellence. That's not an excellent thought. If God has given us the ability to work, we have to work. Now, if they give you subsidized living for whatever you could be, you could have gotten lost your job, you probably disabled. I can understand disabled, the what you call that, retired people of a particular age, like you're over 70, retired. You really can't get a certain kind of job if you don't have certain because of your age. Some people can own businesses, but if you're not of that kind of a drive, some people have to have that drive. If you're not, then yeah. But so I can see them. But when somebody gives you subsidized living, it's not for you to be on it for the rest of your life. It's to help you get up. And so you're not dependent on people. But when I hear people saying in the news, if I don't do it, if I don't get this, I'm gonna. I said, no, 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 no. God didn't tell you to say that. That's not godly living. That's not the best. You start looking for ways that can build you up so you can create your own wealth. But it's never about just being so dependent on people. If they don't have it, you're like, well, I'm going to do this, and that's the wrong mindset. And I'm hearing it in the news, and I'm like, why? What is going on? And I always tell people, even if you have your 401k, you could do it on the side as well. But if you invest in there, you build up your portfolio, then you can borrow against your portfolio, so you never have to sell it or whatever, and you just keep putting in and reinvesting it should be able to build up a nice nest egg for you that could protect you in the case of job loss. Companies are shutting down. We had COVID. We have all these what you call these things, inconsistencies or things, surprise things that happen that's beyond our control, and you cannot be left vulnerable at the hands of every little company and every little thing when you could be creating your wealth on the side. And believe me, it's a lot. Like, I understood it to a point, but now I'm getting a bigger revelation of it, and I wish I had gotten the bigger revelation earlier on. But you do it, and it can help build you up, to protect you, to buffer you in those situations. But you're never left at a disadvantage where you're trying to get into all kinds of crazy and saying all kinds of stuff on the internet that's just not representing yourself well at all. And I'm like, well, why did we get so desperate? And so that's what I'm telling people: build up your investment portfolio to help you in those situations, to create a business. Instead of thinking, I'm going to do this, what is it that you could do? And start thinking of ways to create a business and to create a lifestyle for you and your family. But it's never where you're at such a disadvantage where you're thinking about doing illegal stuff. Now, when you're doing that, it tells a lot about you. And again, that excellent spirit needs to be cultivated, because God created you with value. That's what we're talking about. I said empowered value. It's not just for certain situations where you're just like, oh, well, we're just talking empowered value. The empowered value is to build you up. Okay, hold on, guys. Is to build you up so you're not at a disadvantage. So now you're not just able to be a blessing to yourself, but you can be a blessing to others. And that's where it comes in, all this financial. And there's a lot of people on these platforms talking about it. And we need to take them seriously. And literally, you could do it with $5. I'm telling you. And I mean, when you do it, you could, and more is always, the more you have, the better, of course. It's going to grow faster. But if that's what you have, put it in there and let it grow for you, and gets consistent with it, with whatever you could do. But don't sit down and then look, go out and talk. And if you can't find something, then create something and do something. But don't you ever, I don't like to hear people on there. That just speaks to the fact that you don't know how empowered you are. And you don't know the value God has placed within you. And that's why I tell you, get to a place where you're talking with God. He's talking to you, because things get rough for everybody. And we have to learn to understand we can handle them better if we talk to God, and God, show me how to do this. Show me what I have in my hand. Show me what it is I can create to create a better space. Because, and that's why governments we always promote governments as not being the end and be all of the, don't get too big, because when they get too big, then we have to end up having to lay off because they can't sustain the amount of expenses that's going on there. And so they're working that out for our benefit. But you can get to a space where you're not saying, well, I'm going to do that. No, people don't control you. You and God. God, say, God, show me things in me that can help to create the value that you want to create. And it may not be like everybody else, but it's what God shows you. And then you can use whatever's in your hand to create a lifestyle for you and your family. And so I just always, I just was just bothering me. I've been hearing it, and I'm like, whoa. And I know things are bad. I mean, you lose your job, it's not a bad thing. I mean, we've all been there. I mean, it's not the best thing at all, but we have to have the right mindset of God. How, God, show me how. How can I create the life that I want to live based on what you've placed in me? And who do I need to talk to? Where do I need to? And one way to start the ball rolling is to do your investments. As your money grows, get into a hard. If you're in a space where you don't have a home, you could get a duplex or something. One part you rent, the other part you live in. Whatever you make in the part where you're renting out or whatever would help to pay for the mortgage. And so then you're in a state where you can be living kind of like where you don't have to pay a mortgage. But you have to look into all these different avenues and see what you have, and use your money to buy assets, not just liabilities. And that's another thing, people are using all their money to buy all these things like shoes and clothes and everything. And I love shoes and clothes, but not at my expense. You buy something that can give you income every month so you can pay for these shoes and these clothes. But the shoes and the clothes can't pay for nothing. So you have to get the assets that can help you pay for the shoes and the clothes. And the assets are usually whether you're investing in stocks or you're investing in land, investing in homes, investing in rental properties. People have the Airbnbs and the different things. What is in my hand that I can use to make income, to bring in, to sustain my living? That is where your answer should be. What assets can I create? And the quickest asset you can create, and nobody has to help you with it, is stocks and investing in those stocks. And of course, you have the bonds. Well, you have to work on that one as well. But start with the stocks and whatever you want. And I always tell people start, and everybody say the best ones. I like the companies that I know are doing well: Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. What else is doing very well? The big ones. There's another one there, Tesla, and all these. Invest in those. And again, if you don't have the $500, whatever, you could do fractional shares. That is just as well. Any amount you could go in there. Then you have the ETFs. Now the ETFs are for people that you want. They don't grow as fast, but you have a whole bunch of. It's like a pool of the best in there. So you're investing a little bit of your whatever your money is you put in there gets broken up into these different companies by percentage wise. So you're investing in all of them with just one shot. Okay. ETF, very good one, VOO, and another good one, QQQ, another one, SPY, another one that VTI is another good one. And there's another one there, QQQ. There's another one there somewhere. But these are four of the main ones that people love to do. So go in there and start there at least. And they're higher. They're like some of them like $300, $400, $500 per share. But again, you could do the fractional shares for any amount, and you'll it will be a smaller percentage, of course, but it's still something. And they're also giving dividends. You reinvest the dividends, and that's just growing and compounding your investment every time. Dividends come in and they get reinvested, then it just keeps growing and growing and growing while you sleep. So that's one way you could start. Okay. But you got to do something that gets you out of the state where you feel like you're so desperate and everything, because you're not setting up yourself with the right investments. Saving is one thing, but you need to invest, because that grows faster and bigger for you. So you have a buffer in whatever it is that you're doing, whatever job, whatever career. You have that buffer, so now you can create income on the side, and that's where the multiple streams come from. Okay, so think of that. Then we have the REITs, which are the real, and we also about real estate investments. But sometimes you may not be able to buy that property right off, but you can invest in REITs, which are the real estate investment something. Oh God, I forgot what they are now. Real estate investment, and the T, I can't remember what the T was. But anyway, these are real estate companies that come together, and every time they get rent or mortgage, whatever they get, they have to give the shareholders a portion of it. And so they give it to you in dividends. And most of them is every month, some of them every week, some of them every quarter. The ones that do every month, OHI, AGNC, Good, GOOD, Gain, GAIN. And then we have I think is another one. And STAG, STAG. These are some of the ones that give every single month. So you put something in there and you get a dividend every month, whatever it is per share. Okay. Based on how many shares you have, or whatever fraction of the shares you have. And then you have the ones I just found out, like the YEF and the RDTE and RDTY, that give every week that you can get. And you start there and you build and you keep doing research and seeing the ones that are doing better. Excuse me, the companies that are doing better, and you add to your portfolio and you just build. But you start somewhere and you watch it. Now you can have people manage it for you. I rather do it myself. For your 401k, usually the company that you work for does it for you. If you're doing it for yourself, you can manage it for yourself. If you want the the brokerage to handle it for you. There's going to be a fee, but you can work that out with them, whatever works best for you. But start and get to the space where you're empowered to do things now and you're growing in that. And you're not spending everything in places that are not bringing back a return to you. So we're not just all over the place talking about, oh, I got this, I got that, but you're not getting any returns. You're not bringing in any income to your family. And so when something happens and the government cannot stay in debt to keep on doing things that are not healthy financially, they have to start making cuts where cuts are needed. And so they do the best with what they have, and they keep on doing it until they get to the balanced space that they need. And we want them to get to a balanced space, because if they're not in the balanced space, it's bad enough when they can cut things, but when they're in such a bad space they can't help you, that's when your country's in a lot of trouble. So you want to make sure that you have them where they're not very big and they can come to give assistance when it's needed, but not to a place where they don't have anything to give anybody. So when nobody can help anybody, there's a problem. So we got to be wise. So that's what I'm saying. We have to see the alternatives and the things that God has placed there for us. And I'm not sure. I think most people do, but I'm not sure if everybody knows. And I'm like, well, we need to educate our people, educate your children while they're still living. Show them things that they could do. Tell them, and you know what? Teach them how to. When you learn investment, do it with them. Let them see how they can invest as well. $5, give it $5 or whatever. See how it works, and show it to them so they could see the growth, and they realize, oh, this is really going to work if I keep working at it. And then now you're building a rapport with your children, and now you're building children and generational wealth, because now they know how to invest, they know how to buy assets, and they have now a habit of buying assets as opposed to liabilities. They look at things differently. And that's why we do our Advent calendar, which is coming up in December, and we add to it different investment situations so people get accustomed to it. They get it's normalized to invest and to buy assets as opposed to just buying liabilities all the time. And then now your assets pay for your liabilities, and that's how you grow your wealth. And so when we get to that space and that mindset, it gets us to a place where I'm not seeing myself as a weakling that's at the mercy of everything and every job, every person. No, I'm like, okay, God, you've placed this in my hand. It's growing. How can that help me? How can we grow it bigger? How can we make it better? And so now God is able to use you, and you're in a creative space, as opposed to trying to get into a negative space of destruction, So I really thought I should mention that, because I've been hearing it, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, what's going on with our people? I hope we're doing well, because it doesn't sound good. It just wasn't sounding good. Okay, let's go to NASDAQ and see what's going on. But yeah, just get to a space where we understand I am empowered. I have what it takes to do great things. I am going to be a person who brings wealth to my family and my children's children. And when you get to that space, it changes your whole outlook, your whole mindset. Now you're in the space of, how can I invest? What is over there that I can invest in? How can I make this bigger? Okay, what is it that I could build over here? How can we put that together? And so you're never feeling like you're at a disadvantage. You're always saying, God, bless me so I could be a blessing to others. So now once you get to a good space, now you're not just thinking about you. You're thinking, well, how can I bless others? How can I help others with this information? Just like when we traveled for the Fava Festival, we're going out, and I'm like, we travel, but can we use the travel to show people where you can invest there? You know what I mean? You're not hopeless. You're not like the bottom of the barrel. You can invest there, because they have properties there that you can do. And then you can rent them out, or you can flip them or sell them, whatever it is you want to do. I particularly like to hold and use them and get all the equity out of them, so then you can get others. But people do different things. Work that out with your bank, your financier, whatever's going on there, and have information, have discussions about that. But you could do that. And a lot of people are seeing me, because I think when I came back, I saw on Instagram this one lady. She's an African-American lady, and I think she's from Atlanta. And she looks like about my age, or probably even younger. And she was like, I have 4 properties in Italy. I said, well, good God have mercy. She said, I have 4 properties in Italy that I bought. And when I go on vacation, I stay there a little bit, and I come back home and I rent them. And they're making money for me, vacation spaces in Italy. She had 4, and she was trying to build more. And then she was saying, if you want to get some, I think she has a master class or whatever. And if you want to get some information on this, join my class, and I'll tell you how to do this. I'll give you information. I'll give you a connection. I need to go on her show. I saw it, but I forgot to go on there. and she's talking about it. And it does not look like she's like, special and not. She looks like a regular everyday lady. I think she has a home in Atlanta as well. And she just decided, she was traveling and she said, I just decided I want to buy a property. So I think she has 3 apartments and one kind of like a, almost like in the country home type of thing. And she rents them out while she's here. And she says sometimes she goes on vacation and she goes there to check on the property and then she comes back. So she stays there sometimes 3, 4 months and then she comes back. And that's a wonderful way to live. But some people will never think that they could do that. But that is bringing in profit for her. So even if she goes on vacation, she doesn't have to stay there, but she can check on them. But if she wants, she can stay in one of them. So she doesn't have to pay any hotel bill or whatever because she's staying in them. And then she comes back home and somebody comes in and pays the mortgage with the rent. But these are the things that you can do. And you have to open up your mindset and you have to start the investing and say, God, show me how I can build this, how I can increase this, because I want to be a blessing to my family. And with the economy and the different things going on in our society, we cannot depend on the regular things that are going on because things are shaky. I think what got me more into this was COVID, because COVID was like, well, wait a minute now. People were not just losing their jobs. The whole company was shutting down. I'm like, no, wait a minute. You never think of that. The whole company shutting down. That means they don't have a choice but to let you go. Everybody's gone. So you can't blame the company because they didn't they didn't handle their finances well. So that's why companies need to handle their finances well. Countries need to handle their finances well. Because if they go bust and they have to shut down, they have no choice but to let everything go because they're bankrupt or whatever. So that's why it's good for them to have the good financial practices, for them to cut down the waste, for them to cut down the expenses so that we can live a peaceable life. Because if they shut down and we shut down, there's a hot mess. And you don't want that double hot mess. Believe you me, because some countries are going through it right now. So it's important for us to see, God, you have given me the power to get wealth. You have empowered me. So show me how I can get something and start something even while I'm in my job. Because I started this even when I was in my job. For years, I've been doing this. And recently, I got a whole different revelation on how I could grow it even bigger. Because I didn't know there were certain strategies I didn't know. That's why I tell you, pray for divine strategies from God to show you. Because if I had known some of the things I know now, I could have grown it even bigger because I've been doing this since I got out of college. And so it's been like over 20 years I'm investing, but I didn't know enough to maximize it. So now I know, I'm like, okay, we're going to maximize. And we're maximizing with the dividends and the option. I don't even bring options to you guys because I'm still learning options. Options is good, but there's some little things I have to learn about, not necessarily the options, but the brokerages and how they handle options and how the trading is going on. So I'm working on that. But dividends are just one of the simplest. It's not simple, but it's just a very simple, easier way that you can add some money to your situation and leave it there and let it grow. And if you need borrow against, that's another strategy I learned. I was so happy I learned it. But I'm like, if I knew that before, I wouldn't be, because you used to sell or whatever. But now you know it. So I'm just like, don't feel like you're hopeless and life is over and I got to do crazy. Say, God, show me what is in my hand, because we're gonna maximize what's in our hand. Like David had the what he had, 5 stones and a slingshot, whatever, and he used that thing and he killed the giant. The things, no matter how little it is in your hand, God will use it to destroy giants in your life. Giants of poverty, sickness, death, all these kind of things. God has given you the power to overcome it, but you have to get in his presence, see what it is, and think like him. I am not a victim, I am a victor. And God has given me the power to overcome anything that comes against me, because greater is he that is in me than he that's in the world. And oh my God, it will lift your spirit every single time. Whoo, okay, now we're on NASDAQ. I got to talking over here. NASDAQ went up about 260.74 over the week. And so that's what we have. That's what we ended with on, what was that? Friday. We had the most active by dollar volume. Tesla was down a little bit, but it was very active. SPY, NVIDIA, QQQ, AMD, Apple. No, Apple has been doing very well. I think they even reached to the price, like the highest they've ever been. I think it's ever been the whole history of the company. So they've been doing well. INTC, Amazon is up, Microsoft is up, and Google is up. So we have a lot of activities going on with these companies, and we have little too. Like the open is still busy on those charts. There's another one beyond I saw this week, BYND, and I think it's like plant-based food, like the patties and stuff that you make your meals with, and that has been all over the all week. It's been all over the place, but apparently it had gone down in price. They dropped it really really low, and then it's picking up again, but everyone's talking about how I mean, it was like 100 plus million, 100 like the 100 million plus in trades, and people were just trading all week. It was like, whoa, what is this? But so I have done my watch list. I'm just watching it. There's another little one I put on my watch list. Let me see if I can see that. This week it had some little surprises, and as I get information, I pass them on. But Um, it was that when I heard about a dividend Vanguard VYM that has very good yield, high dividend yield. So I put in my watch list. That's another one I put on there. Um, there's another one, TSLY, but I'm still watching that one. TSLY is another, it's a yield max, it's a Tesla ETF. And it was trading very high all week. The volumes were high on there. So, but I'm looking at that one too. And then this week had the whole thing with the IVF. I don't know if it was last week or this week it started. But IVF is still high up there because remember they dropped the price for IVF, but the president made that announcement. So I'm not, but it started coming back up this week, but it went down again, and I'm not sure why. But from the time they made that announcement, the price is going down, and people are trying to figure out why. But because it's unless they're trying to drop it so people can buy it, and then boom, it goes up again. So I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I'm still looking at it. It's not too expensive, but yeah. And Plug has been on there for a minute. It's a power situation. That one is on the list for a good minute, like high volume, $2.95. So it's a little. See, it's not very. That's what I'm telling you. It's not very expensive for options. It's really good because I try to stay low with my options because it's 100 shares. So that's a really good one, and they've been doing decently. Let me see what the analysis was. There's a strong hold, a strong buy, regular buy, and then a strong hold. There's a little bit of sell in there, but it's more hold and strong buy. So it's a decent company. See that I've been looking at all these different things show up, and I just look at them. It's engaged in offering end-to-end green hydrogen ecosystem from production, storage, and delivery to energy generation to help its customers meet their business goals. So it's one of those energy companies. So it seems to be doing pretty well. It was formed in 1999, so it's been there for a minute. Company develops commercially viable hydrogen and fuel cell products solutions. It provides electrolyzers that allow customers such as refineries, producers of chemicals, steel, fertilizer, and commercial refueling stations to generate hydrogen on site. So it's doing some innovative things right there. And it's been all week, it's just a heavy volume. So these are the ones you look at when they're moving the markets a lot, because you could get some good options with them. And then if the price goes up, if you buy a few of the few shares, you could be right up in the boom as well. So look for those. Now, one I noticed that was a little low was Netflix. I just saw that where it went down to $1,094.69 because it was up in the 1,200s for a minute, like up till probably Thursday or Friday. Could be even Friday. So I don't know what happened there, but they have a little dip, but it's still not low. Like this, the Netflix summary has, Netflix has been declining for 4 consecutive days. Three or more Wall Street faces busy week with mega cap earnings and Fed meetings. So there's things going on behind the scenes, but it's still up there. It's still strong. So we'll see what's going on there. Tesla, what is Tesla? 433.72, still doing good, still up there, still high volume. So that's the one you could take. Mara is another one I've been looking at. 1954. It's up there, and usually it's in the 21, 22, but dropped a little bit, but it's still strong. But it has good options, and it's been doing pretty well, like steady. So just keep an eye. I put it on my watch list. It's been there for a minute though, but still. So you see these are different. So when you see then open, of course, is right. Then now open dropped because it had gone up to almost like 10 something, but it went up a little bit to 797. So it's a little drop there, but it's still bullish. I think they saw 4 bullish and 5 bearish short-term technical signals. So It's up there still, but I don't know. That's another one that people are looking at because it's been around for a while, but it went all the way down and went all the way up, and now it's still on the high volume trading. So we just keep an eye on it and just buy what you can. It's low enough that you can buy what you can, and leave it and let it grow. Okay, so I think that's the ones that really got me this week. Hold on, but those are very good. Retail trading activity tracker, Tesla plus 6.71%, buy plus one. Nvidia is up 4.06. AMD Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated down a bit, down 3.4%. INTC Intel common stock up plus 2.25%, and the buy plus one. And then SPY, of course, they made the good ETF, is up plus 1.65%, buy plus three. So these are stocks that are really doing good, high activity trackers, and you can look for them as well. So these are all really good ones. Dividends, of course. I hope we're checking for our dividends. They're coming in end of month. Usually you have some that comes in. So you're looking for those. Again, with the yes and all that, I'm so glad I found those stocks because every week, and make sure you're reinvesting. Make sure you're reinvesting those dividends as they come through, because that is what's growing and growing and growing. If you can add to them as well, if you have enough that you could buy some outright, just they're adding to your dividend that you get every week. And at the same time, you're compounding. So very, very important. So when I get those little things, I send them to you. And then probably people are talking about them all over the internet. So just look and see for those things. When you see them, don't just go and jump into them and invest. Put them on your watch list, watch what's going on with them, and see if they work for you. I always tell people that because people get caught up and you want to go, it's a slow pace, but you take your time and you get to where you need to get to. Okay. Again, this week, dividends, all the way through the end. Usually by the 30th of the month, the end of the month, you have, fast and all this. Tuesday, just one. Oh, wow. Okay. So you just check and you see what's going on and get those dividends in. Okay. Because let me tell you something. Now I'm starting to, because now they're starting to really grow and you're seeing, you're seeing the increase. So just stay with them and let them grow your account. But that's what I'm saying. If we decide I'm gonna, instead of spending that $5 on the drink, because I love my little drinks, but I will leave the drink and spend on my stocks in a minute and just let it grow. Agencies coming in on the 31st of October, 12 cents per share. And then with how many, whatever ever you have here. And that's another one that comes every single month, which is a blessing. Okay. And it's not very expensive. It's like 10 something, I think it went up to per share. So just keep on doing those. You can put that and that's like I said, that's one of the ones, GNL. And that's when I really started my dividend search. It was GNL, AGNC, because I never, this coach was talking about, and she said, these are the ones that are strong and they're not too expensive, but they'll bring in some strong dividends. So you just GNL, AGNC, because GNL is like 7 something, agency's 10 something, gain and good. I think they're like gain and good are like in the $13 or $14. And you just keep buying those, and per share, especially that GNL is every quarter. But you could buy, anybody can buy 10 shares, $70. And you're getting 12 cents times 10, 1, 2, 10, $1.20. So you just keep, I mean, it seems like a little bit, but let me tell you something, the dividend is a lot. You just keep building because it's not too expensive. So that's why I say start small. Don't think about, I can't afford the $500, the 10, whatever. Start small, the $500, put a fractional, you can put $50, whatever, and just keep building until you see that growth come in. But don't sit down. Like one person was saying, somebody says, I can't afford to invest. He said, you can't afford not to, especially in the times we're living in. Put that thing in and get it growing for you. $7 is nothing. Leave them shoes and put the $7 in the stock. You have $7 at $70. And then you get in, you just keep growing those dividends. And it just comes in like clockwork. It's not like you have to go do anything. It just comes in. And then you reinvest and it keeps growing. And you can talk to the brokerages. Fidelity is a good one. Schwab is a good one. I'm not sure what you want to go. Webull, they have customer service that can talk to you and give you information and tell you what to do. So, and then you have all these financial people online. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's a lot. I have to cut back sometime because I feel like they'll make me spend all my money. But they're on there and they're giving advice, and you'll have to talk about like, oh, they don't look like, yeah, they look like you. There's minorities, there's not minorities, there's everybody on there. Women, men, everything. So just and young. The young people are clocking in on this. So the older people, you better catch up because they're not playing. They are not playing. Okay, so just do what you do and then grow. I want to see people grow their wealth and increase themselves to help their family because too many people are talking. I mean, I was hearing the thing, and I'm like, who talks like I was shocked that people actually would say that on the internet. I would be embarrassed, but they weren't. And like, is that because they don't have the right tools? And I'm like, study their books on there you can get as well. You can go and you can buy books online, the ebooks, and just read. And just that's another way I've educated myself. One book I love, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. Oh, I love that book. The psychology of money that's on there as well. There's another one I'm reading right now that's not bad. I'll teach you how to be rich. That's one that's not that bad. There's another with Atomic Habits. There's just a few, and I have a whole bunch of them in my little, and I have them online because I do the ebook because it's so much easier for me to read the ebooks while I'm driving. I just put it on and it's just the best for me because I don't have right now. I'm reading Living Trusts. That is a book because I'm trying to get somebody on here to talk about trusts because let me tell you, but it's a great book. It's by Garrett Monroe. You got to read that book. Amazing. I'm still learning about it. But you put, like I said, get that trust and put everything in it and diversify and organize yourself so you can leave for your children. So that's something I want to get in there as well. Wait a minute. Where's my, okay, home. Why am I, hold on, y'all. Oh, okay. What else do we have that's really good? The Complete Turtle Trader. I haven't read that yet. There's another one, Dirt Rich too. That talks about land and how you can invest with land and flip and all that kind of stuff. That one was really good to me. I'd have 1 and 2. Options Trading. I have that book by T.R. Lawrence. It's another one you could get. Dream Big by Bob Goff. Options Trading for Dummies. I went all the way to the Dummies by Joe Duarte, and it breaks it down for you so you can understand it. So there's a lot of books out there. You just read them and you put them on and you can get them on your phone. And while you're driving in your car, you work 10x is easier than 2x. It's another one I have. There's another one, The 10x Rule by Grant Cardone. It's a really good one in real estate. There's just so many books I've read and they have helped me. And of course, yeah, just amazing. Just helped me to get my focus and to see what I can and cannot do and to understand that I'm not at a disadvantage. There are things out there that can motivate you and get you. Psychology of money is a good one to teach you how you're thinking about money and how that affects the way you spend and what you can and cannot do in life. So there's a lot out there. The Millionaire Mind, that's another one I really like by Thomas J. Stanley. It's a really good one. So I have all these books in here, guys. The Richest Man in Babylon, that's another good one by George S. Clayson. So just get The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. That's another good one. Oh my God, I have a lot of books, so I can't tell you everything. But just get, if that's one of the quickest ways you can start getting your education. If you can't pay for all these big classes, get the books. Because those books are literally, the author is involved in that stuff and they're putting everything they do on a book for you to give you that information so you can do it yourself. So get your mindset out of the gutter and stop thinking that you're at a disadvantage. It's not about the rich. The rich had to work to get rich. And they did what they did. And they so now learn from them. I always tell people, stop criticizing people and learn from them. Take the good they have and learn so you can get yourself up there as well. So it doesn't make sense putting people down. People, they got to where they are because of a reason. If they're trying to pass that on to you, learn from it and get it. Make sure it's good. Leave the bad, but always take the good. And see yourself come to a space where now we are empowered and we don't no longer think anything is my God is my source. The job is something God allowed me to have, and I have to use it and maximize it in every other way God has given me so I can bring income and increase to the kingdom of God. 1 more minute. My God, I hope this blessed your heart. I hope you're empowered. Go and do great things. Get on the Webull, get on the NASDAQ, invest, and you could do it anywhere, from anywhere. We travel and we invest. We travel and we look for properties. We take our laptops and you go everywhere. Instead of letting people into negative space of pornography and all kind of weird stuff on the internet, why not use your computer to do good stuff and start getting to a productive space and enjoying what God has for you, because God has so many great things in store for us. But we just sit around thinking, oh, I can't do that. No, God has given you the power to get wealth. God has given you the power to do anything He's called you to do. He's placed it in you. Tap into Him, get it, and do great things. Oh, I wish God's great blessings on you. Continue to enjoy life. And remember to